When life throws us into a storm, is there a greater purpose? There are moments in life when we feel utterly lost. The path ahead suddenly becomes shrouded in mist. The things we once leaned on vanish, and a sudden crisis hits, leaving us breathless. Have you ever stood in the middle of such a storm and asked yourself, why is this happening to me? We are taught that life should follow a perfect plan. But then, it's precisely in these unexpected twists that we realize we are not in complete control. Instead of panicking, what if there's another perspective? A viewpoint where every pain, every failure, and every unforeseen turn is a thread woven by an invisible intelligence. Far grander than any of our own plans? In Buddhist philosophy, nothing is random. Every moment, every encounter, and every heartbreak is a silent teacher, guiding us closer to wisdom. Each experience carves us into the person we are meant to become. The journey we are about to embark on together will help you understand how to place your trust in life's silent intelligence, how to surrender to what is happening without resistance, and how to transform each challenge into a doorway to inner peace. If you have ever whispered to yourself in the dark, "Why me?" Stay with me until the end. What you discover here may forever shift the way you walk your path. Lesson 1. The secret purpose hidden within pain. Pain is a language that life uses when words are not enough. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you believe in, pain will visit your doorstep. Loss, failure, disappointment, betrayal. These are threads woven into every human life. But what makes the difference is not the pain itself, but what we choose to see within it. Buddhism teaches that pain is not a punishment handed down by some unseen force. It is not karma's revenge or a cruel twist of fate. Instead, pain is a teacher in disguise. A strict teacher, yes, but one who carries profound lessons hidden beneath each ache and tear. Think about it. When everything in life is smooth, when comfort wraps us like a warm blanket, we rarely grow. Growth demands discomfort. Just like a seed must crack open to become a tree, or a caterpillar must dissolve into nothingness to become a butterfly, we too must allow parts of ourselves to break so that something new can emerge. Yet, our first instinct when pain comes is to resist it. We want it to go away immediately. We beg life to restore what we lost, to reverse the hurt, to erase the memory of it. But what if in doing so, we are denying ourselves the very transformation we seek? The Buddha said that pain is inevitable, but unnecessary suffering is optional. What does this mean? It means that pain will come as a part of life's flow. But when we cling to it, identify with it, and build stories around it, we turn that temporary pain into a lifelong prison. The key lies in how we respond. There is a beautiful story often told by Buddhist teachers. A young disciple came to his master, tears streaming down his face. "Why is life so unfair to me?" he asked. "Why do I always suffer while others seem so happy?" The master listened silently, then asked the disciple to fetch a handful of salt. When he returned, the master told him to put all the salt into a small glass of water and drink it. The disciple took a sip and immediately spat it out. "It's too bitter," he said. Then the master took him to a vast, peaceful lake. "Now throw the same handful of salt into this lake," he instructed. The disciple obeyed. "Now drink from the lake," the master said. The disciple scooped up the water and drank. This time, he smiled. The water tasted pure and refreshing. The master looked at him and said, "Pain is like this handful of salt. The bitterness does not change. What changes is where you place it. If you want your pain to taste less bitter, expand your sense of self. Become the lake." This simple teaching carries a wisdom that can transform your life. When we focus only on the pain, when we hold it tightly within our small sense of self, it fills us completely, leaving no space for peace. But when we widen our perspective, when we see that our life is much larger than any single problem, the pain becomes diluted within our vastness. Imagine for a moment, what if every difficulty you face is not here to break you, but to awaken you? What if every heartbreak is designed to soften your ego and open your heart? What if every failure is redirecting you to something more aligned with your soul's true calling? So many people spend their lives asking, "Why is this happening to me?" But Buddhism invites a different question. What is this trying to teach me? Lesson 2. Chaos, the silent architect of transformation. Comfort is a seductive state. It wraps around us like a warm blanket, giving us the illusion of safety and control. When everything flows as planned, When life feels predictable and easy, we often sink into that comfort, unaware that it quietly breeds stagnation. We stop questioning, stop growing, and settle for a version of ourselves that is far smaller than what we are meant to become. Yet, Buddhism teaches that chaos is not an enemy to be feared. Chaos is life's secret architect, designing the bridges that carry us from who we are to who we are meant to be. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that the most profound changes in your life rarely began with peace and comfort? True transformation often arises from the cracks in our reality. The moments when life shakes us awake, a sudden loss, a health crisis, the collapse of something you thought was permanent. These moments feel like the end, but in truth, they are a beginning. Without chaos, transformation remains a theory. It is only when life tears away what we cling to that we are forced to awaken. Crises become the chisels that sculpt our character, revealing strengths we never knew existed. Imagine a seed lying on the forest floor. If it remains on the surface, bathed in sunlight and fresh air, it will never sprout. For the seed to grow, it must be buried in darkness. It must endure the pressure of the earth pressing down upon it. It must crack open from within and push against the weight of the soil to reach the light. Only through this struggle does life emerge. We are no different. Without descending into the dark soil of uncertainty, without being pushed beyond what is familiar, we cannot awaken our hidden potential. There is an ancient Buddhist story that beautifully illustrates this truth. A young disciple once asked his master, "Why must life be so difficult? Why must there be so much struggle?" In silence, the master led him deep into the forest. They came upon a butterfly struggling to break free from its cocoon, its wings trembling with effort. The disciple, filled with compassion, reached out and carefully tore the cocoon open to help the butterfly escape. But as the butterfly emerged, the disciple noticed something tragic. Its wings were weak and crumpled. Unable to fly, it fell to the ground. The master turned to him and said, "Do you see? The struggle to break free from the cocoon is what strengthens its wings. Without that struggle, the butterfly can never soar." In our lives, chaos serves this same purpose. It forces us to push against the boundaries we have set for ourselves. It demands that we find courage in fear, faith in uncertainty, and wisdom in confusion. If you reflect upon your past, you will see this truth clearly. Was it not heartbreak that taught you the depth of your capacity to love? Was it not failure that revealed your resilience and creativity? Was it not loss that taught you the value of what truly matters? Buddhism does not teach us to seek chaos, nor does it ask us to enjoy suffering. Rather, it invites us to see chaos as an opportunity to dissolve the illusions we hold about ourselves and life. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What transformation is being born through this chaos?" Lesson 3. Dharma. Trusting life's invisible order. There are times when life feels chaotic and out of control. Plans unravel, relationships end, opportunities vanish, and suddenly everything you thought was certain dissolves into confusion. In these moments, we wonder if we've strayed from our path. We ask, "What am I doing wrong? Why is everything falling apart?" But Buddhism offers a different perspective, a truth that brings peace when the world feels unstable. It teaches us that nothing in this universe happens by chance. Beneath the apparent randomness lies a silent intelligence, an invisible order guiding everything towards its natural unfolding. This is Dharma. Dharma is not just a spiritual law. It is the underlying harmony and order of life itself. It is the way the universe keeps its balance, the way the seasons change at precisely the right moment, the way rivers carve their paths without effort, the way flowers bloom when the time is right, never too early, never too late. In nature, everything follows this perfect rhythm. Trees don't force themselves to grow. The moon doesn't struggle to wax and wane. The ocean waves do not fight their rising and falling. But human beings, with our restless minds, resist this flow. We cling to expectations, demand certainty, and create suffering when life moves differently than we desire. There is an old Buddhist story of a man caught in a fierce storm at sea. He thrashed and struggled against the crashing waves, desperately trying to keep his head above water. But the harder he fought, the more he sank. Exhausted and defeated, he finally surrendered. He stopped resisting and allowed himself to float. In that moment of surrender, the current gently carried him back to shore. This is how Dharma works. When we stop resisting life, We are carried by its silent wisdom to where we need to be. This doesn't mean we become passive or resign ourselves to fate. Dharma invites us to act with awareness, to make choices that align with our truest nature. But it also asks us to trust that there is a purpose woven into every experience, even those that break our hearts. Often suffering arises when we drift away from this natural alignment. Life sends us signs, small nudges at first, and if we ignore them, stronger obstacles appear to realign us with who we truly are. That painful ending, that sudden rejection, that unexpected failure, they are not punishments, they are redirections. Buddhism teaches that when something leaves our life, it's because it no longer serves our growth. When a door closes, it's because another is meant to open. When something is delayed, it's because the time is not yet right. Nothing is wasted in Dharma's design. Think about it. How many times did life not go as planned, only to bring you to something better? How many times did the detours reveal the most beautiful views? When we understand Dharma, we stop seeing difficulties as punishments. We start seeing them as teachers. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me? What truth is life revealing through this experience?" Lesson 4. The illusion of control, finding freedom in surrender. From the time we are young, we are taught to believe that control is the key to a successful life. We are told that if we work hard enough, plan carefully, and make all the right choices, life will unfold exactly as we want it to. We chase certainty as if it were a guarantee for happiness. But life, in its quiet wisdom, often shows us otherwise. No matter how detailed our plans, how disciplined our efforts, or how noble our intentions, there will always be moments when everything unravels. A relationship we thought was unbreakable suddenly ends. A job we depended on vanishes without warning. Dreams we built for years crumble in a single moment. And when this happens, we panic. We feel anxious, afraid, and lost. We whisper to ourselves, "What did I do wrong? Why is life betraying me when I tried so hard to do everything right?" Buddhism offers a powerful insight into these moments. Control is an illusion. Life has never moved according to our scripts. It dances to its own rhythm. Unpredictable, mysterious, beyond our full understanding. The mind craves guarantees, but life offers none, and it is this craving for certainty that creates our deepest suffering. Remember the story of the king and the 3 advisors. The king could not understand why life was so unpredictable. He asked his 3 wisest advisors. The first said it was luck. The second said it was the result of his past actions. But the 3rd advisor simply smiled and led the king to a river. "Try to stop the flow of water with your hands," he said. The king cupped his palms against the current. But no matter what he did, the river continued flowing around him. The advisor then spoke softly. "Life is like this river. You can try to control it, but it will always flow where it needs to go. Your choice is not to control it, but to learn how to move with it." We cling to how we think life should be. We set rigid expectations, telling ourselves, "I will only be happy if I achieve this goal. If this relationship lasts forever. If nothing changes." But life does not work that way. It never has. And the tighter we hold on, the more we suffer when things inevitably shift. Letting go of control does not mean giving up. It does not mean passivity or carelessness. In Buddhism, there is a practice called Wu Wei, which means effortless action or non-doing. This is not about doing nothing, but about acting in harmony with the natural flow of life. It is like sailing a boat. You cannot command the wind, but you can adjust your sails to travel with it. Think of your own life. How many times has something that seemed like a disaster revealed itself as a hidden gift? A job loss that led you to a more meaningful path. A heartbreak that taught you how to love yourself. A failure that uncovered your hidden strengths. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It is life's way of keeping you open, humble, and aware of the infinite possibilities beyond your imagination. Buddhism teaches that peace does not come from eliminating uncertainty, but from learning to live with it gracefully. When we release our fear of the unknown, we awaken to a freedom we never thought possible. Lesson 5. The path to awakening. Seeing life as your silent teacher. Life often feels like a puzzle missing its final piece. There are days when everything flows effortlessly. And then there are days when life feels heavy, confusing, or unbearably painful. We find ourselves wondering why things happen the way they do. Why do we lose what we love? Why do plans collapse when we've done everything right? Why does suffering seem so unavoidable? Buddhism offers us a simple yet profound truth. Every event in life is part of our awakening. Enlightenment isn't something we find outside ourselves, hidden in distant monasteries or remote mountain caves. It's not a reward given only to saints or sages. Enlightenment is already within us, patiently waiting to be seen. But how do we awaken to it? Through life itself. Every moment, every joy, every sorrow, every confusion serves as a quiet teacher, guiding us back to ourselves. The tough moments aren't obstacles to awakening. They are the very path that leads us there. Think for a moment about the times you grew most as a person. Were they days when everything was easy? When the world bent to your will and your heart knew no pain? Or were they the days when life tested your limits? When grief carved rivers through your soul? When failure shattered your illusions? When fear forced you to face your deepest insecurities? We don't grow when we're comfortable. We grow when life pushes us beyond what we thought we could handle. Just as the lotus must break through thick mud to bloom above the water's surface, so must we endure life's pressures to discover our true nature. There's an old Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Life doesn't change after awakening. What changes is how we see it. The same ordinary moments become sacred. The same painful events become stepping stones. And the same unanswered questions become opportunities for trust. If life feels confusing or painful right now, remember this: the universe isn't punishing you. You're not being abandoned. You are being guided, shaped, and refined, like gold placed in the hottest fire. Your soul is being purified to reveal its truest shine. Ask yourself today, what is life trying to teach me through this situation? How can I grow stronger, wiser, and more compassionate through this challenge? What illusions about myself or life is this experience asking me to release? When you begin to see life this way, even the darkest days become meaningful. You realize that awakening isn't found by avoiding challenges, but by walking through them with an open heart. Take a deep breath right now. Feel the silent rhythm of life flowing through you. Know that you are exactly where you need to be. Nothing is missing from this moment. You don't need to control every detail of your life to find peace. You don't need all the answers to feel calm. All you need is the courage to trust that whatever life brings, it is shaping you into someone wiser, stronger, and more compassionate than before. Remember, every pain is a step, and every step, no matter how difficult, leads you closer to your own awakening.